Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. Today I've got something a little different on the table. It's a belt. And no, we're not going to turn this into a fashion show. This is actually a gun belt. This is a belt you'll be interested in hearing about. And if you've carried a gun, whether inside out the waistband or outside the waistband, concealed or visible, you've probably struggled with getting a belt that actually holds the gun in place, that keeps your pants where they belong, and holds up to the wear and tear of having a big hunk of iron hanging off your belt. This is a Kore Essentials CCW belt. And Hammer had bought this 6 or 7 months ago and has been wearing it every day since then. And unlike all the other different gun belts we've tried, it actually is holding up quite well to the daily abuse. We've tried a number of different belts, purchased online, purchased in outdoor stores, and all of them have been horrible. They either didn't hold up well, they were uncomfortable, or they just plain didn't do what they claimed to. This belt is holding up extremely well. They're super comfortable, and they do exactly what they say they're going to do. So I spoke to Kore to get a little more information about their belts, and they sent us two, and they're in this box, and I'm going to get it out and show it to you in a bit after I talk about the one that's been actually worn for 7 months, to do a review on, so that we could bring a little bit more diversity of their selection to you guys. So let's talk about this belt that's been worn every day for about 7 months. There's a tiny bit of wear right at the edge where the holster has been clipped on. But if you look at it, as soon as you bring the belt sideways, that wear pretty much vanishes. So this is going to be hidden by your clothes. But there's no wear at all showing on the outer surface, the part people are actually going to see. So when you pull your holster off, there's not going to be, a lot of the belts we had would have cracks and stripes here. This little bit of wear here is just on the fringe and is way better than any of the others that we've had. If you look at the belt all in all, that surface looks like it's pretty much brand new. And that really is one of the big differentiating factors, is the durability of it. And then the other thing is, a lot of the belts that we had tried eventually they would fold in the middle. So they would fold over like a fashion belt will. They would do that eventually, or they'd get a divot in them. And this hasn't done either of those two things. From an adjustability standpoint, they're very, very adjustable. They've got this track, and it allows you to adjust in 1/4-inch increments. And they're plastic teeth, so you'd think, oh yeah, those aren't going to hold up well. Well, if you look at them, these teeth are pretty much brand new looking. These teeth are in the same condition they were when we initially got the belt. So they've held up quite well, and with the dual teeth and a relatively large hook distributing that load, we haven't had any problem with these teeth bending, chipping, cracking, or skipping. When you put the belt together, it clicks, and you can go in 1/4-inch increments. So when you've got your holster on and it's not quite where you want it, you can click it a couple times, get it tight the way you need it. If you pull your holster out for some reason, you can tighten the belt up to account for that holster slack that's missing. And then to loosen the belt, there's a little lever right here, and you pull it up. And that releases the track. So if you're wearing the belt, you just kind of reach down and grab it, and then you can easily slide the belt out. Pull it out. So let's say you've taken your holster out so you can drive, so you got your belt like that, and it's time to put the holster back in. You can slide the belt way out, make it easy to get that holster in, and then snug it right back up again. So it's proven to be very easy to operate and easy to transition from wearing it with a holster to wearing it without a holster, or of course the buffet. After you've kind of made a pig out of yourself, you can adjust it out a little bit to compensate for that. So you're probably skeptical about yet another magical belt, and I was kind of on the skeptical side as well. And Hammer had gotten another one of these things, and he gave it to me, and I set it up and wore it on Black Friday. It was a black one with a Glock 29 in my waistband. Wore it all day, and I had tried the various gun belts before and really just found they either bite into the side of me, or you couldn't adjust them right. So I had kind of given up on the concept. I was very, very pleasantly surprised. I wore that Glock 29 inside my waistband all day, constantly walking, moving, getting up, getting down, eating, moving around the mall, and the belt worked perfectly. It never bit into me. I was able to adjust it as needed to get it just exactly the way I wanted it. And it held the gun perfectly level. One of the things that I found with my regular fashion belt, that the gun wants to move around. I'm having to reposition the gun as I move, it's moving on my hip, and it tends to turn and twist, and the belt, as it flexes, lets that happen. This didn't flex at all, didn't move, and the gun stayed put. I didn't have to do anything with the gun. I just ignored the fact that it was there and went on with my day. So I'm really, really happy with the way these things are set up. So let me set this one aside, and we'll talk about what's in this box that they sent us, and what you would get if you ordered one of these things. First off, it comes in just a plain brown box, and that's fine. You don't want to pay for a big expensive box. But the belts themselves are $59.95 currently for a complete belt. So that's a belt and a buckle. You can also buy the belt material, just the belt itself, for $30.95, and then for $29.95 you can buy the buckle of your choice. So where you would do that maybe is if you just wanted to buy one belt and interchange the buckles, and I'll show you how that works. A couple other things they've got is this thing, and you might be tempted to kind of discount this, but it's got that same track mechanism on it, and what it allows you to do is hang up two belts on it instead of them trying to curl them up in a drawer. They don't curl up as easily as a fashion belt. You can roll a fashion belt into a little roll kind of like that. You can't do that with these. But this thing hangs them really nicely, and they're not expensive. It's $4 for this thing, and you just hang it on your rod and clip your belts to it. But let's talk about the belts themselves. They come with 3 different options for buckles. There's this one here, which you saw on that belt. This is their X2 model. They have another one that's kind of open looking, and this is their X1 model. And then they've got a third one, which I don't have one. I'll put a picture of one up on the screen. It's called the X3, and it kind of simulates a regular belt with a little thing for, through the belt holes. Kind of makes it look like a conventional belt. And you can buy the belts pre-configured with any one of those buckles that you want on them, or you can buy the leather and independently put the buckle on it that you want. Then you're going to get the leather, and I've got 2 of them here, and they come wrapped with plastic so that when they're being shipped and moved around in shipping, they don't shave and wear. So we'll separate these 2, and I'm going to peel the plastic off them, and then we'll pick up where we left off. So one thing that differentiates these from others, you see these markings on here with the lines, the size markings. If you've tried to buy a gun belt before, you've dealt with every company's got a different way of trying to figure out how they want to size them, and after you go through whatever convoluted formula that it has, you go to order it and that size is out of stock, and that's real frustrating and actually quite annoying. You don't have that problem with these, because as you can see, what I've got is a strip of leather and a buckle. So whether you buy it as a kit or whether you buy the 2 pieces separately, this is how it arrives. And basically I'm going to size this right here myself. Now they do come with very nice detailed instructions, and you'll see that the instructions, though detailed, are pretty simple. There's 4 steps. So it's very easy to set these things up. But effectively what you're going to do is measure your waist size and then add 4 inches to it to get the sizing for the belt. And if you're unsure, especially if you're not sure with your holster, you can always cut it, like 1 inch too long. You can always cut it shorter later. If you cut it too short to start with, then you're going to, it's game over. You're done right there. So if we go to cut them, you're going to need a really heavy-duty set of scissors. I happen to have tin snips. I've got those in my toolbox, and I'm using these. Real light-duty, crafting type scissors won't cut through these because there's actually a rigid piece in the center. But heavier duty shears will do it, kitchen shears will do it, or of course something like this. So once you've done the measurement and you've added the 4 inches, you simply cut the belt to the size that you want. And actually, before I cut, I'd actually wanted to do the brown one first. So let's get the proper one in my hands, and go ahead and do my cuts. Now I've already sized one of these before on me, and I did it the 4 inches bigger and found that I really wanted it at the 3-inch mark. So once you do that, you simply line the shears up, or whatever pair of scissors you're using, and cut as straight as possible. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, and it can be a little bit ragged. This part's going to be hidden, and you won't need this piece anymore. You can set that piece aside. At this point, I've now got a belt that should be the right length, and I simply put the buckle on it. Now, the buckle is easy to do. See, there's some teeth here, some pretty gnarly looking teeth, and those are what's going to bite into the belt and hold it in position. So I'm just going to slide the belt into the slot, push it up firmly, and then flip this piece over and push it down into the leather. And you're going to find it's going to be rather stiff to do it. When you go to do it, give it a good shove and it'll snap in place. And now the belt is assembled and ready to go. So I could now just take this belt and put it on. And that's what you've got with the X1 buckle. Really nice looking buckle, kind of decorative a little bit, and I'm going to wear this on my dress clothes going to work and back. So it'll be a little bit fitting for that. But this buckle would have gone on just as easily. So what you've got here is something that easy to order, easy to assemble, easy to fit, live with, and really does an excellent job of doing what a gun belt's supposed to do, which is to keep the gun in place and not make it obvious that you're carrying a gun, or that it looks like you've got, a bag of marbles in your pocket and one side of your pants are hanging down the other way. And really good, high quality. And since I've got this one here, assembled, I'll also show you using this thing. You would turn it so that the teeth face inward, and then you could hang the belt up. So that's how that thing works. And then to get it off there, it's the same as taking it off you. Just hit the release and pop it out. So kind of a useful way to store the belts and keep them out of the way. They've got a couple other cool accessories. Of course, they have hats. But they've got this thing, which is actually kind of neat. It's a keychain. They sent us one of these. So it's kind of a typical looking keychain, carabiner style. Nice solid spring, so it's not going to pop off on its own. But it's got a couple other features. It's got a screwdriver on it. And it's got a GoPro tool. This little notch here you can use to unscrew or tighten the parts of a GoPro. And it comes with the stainless steel, the whole thing's stainless steel. It comes with these stainless steel key rings, and they're flat, they're kind of wafer style. And then once you put your keys on them, you can put more than one key on each one of them. You can do that. So you can hang your keys from a belt loop or something like that. So kind of a cool little accessory that's available. It doesn't come with the belts. It's an extra thing just like this, that they're extra to buy, but you can order it at the same time you're ordering the belts. And these are like $8.95. Also will function as a bottle opener. This thing here will operate as a bottle opener. So it's kind of a cool little accessory. And of course, you can generally find coupons online, and they run sales periodically, so you may be able to get this less expensively depending on what's going on. You can buy these from their website, KoreEssentials.com, and it's Kore. And I'll also put that in the description so that you can cut and paste it. And there's a little bit of information about the company. They seem to do a really, really good job with it, and I really like the belt. So if you like the belt, go ahead and get one. If you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, check us out on Facebook, and have a great day. Thank you.